here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're going to flip gears from college football to NFL football. The Lions specifically. Our own Corey Woods was out and asked offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn of the Lions a very good question about Jared Goff, and his comments were kind of surprising. Were they throwing him under the bus? Guys, what do you think? Was it throwing him under the bus?
Well, a little bit, and he knows. Listen, in Jared Goff's last 36 regular season appearances, he's committed 45 turnovers.
That's it? I could have sworn it was way more. That's impressive.
Look at this is the conversations that Lions fans have. I mean, they're surprised, genuinely surprised. And listen, Anthony Lynn, you're only as good. Really, your offensive coordinator is only as good as your quarterback. Sometimes, I mean, yes, you can manage your quarterback sometimes, but overall, if your quarterback's fumbling the ball in the red zone like Jared Goff's done, over the course of the last couple games, it hurts, your offense. And they've only been scoring. I don't think they've cleared 17 points since week 1 against San Francisco. So Jared Goff's a turnover machine. Obviously, we know the statistics. He's second behind Jameis Winston in total turnover since 2016. He's the absolute worst under pressure. He's I don't know if fragile is the right word in the pocket, but he's overwhelmed with emotions. I mean, if this offensive line's not giving him 6 seconds to throw the ball, he's at his absolute worst. I mean, you saw it against Minnesota. He had that really big fumble, and I think it was the first or second quarter, and that's what Anthony Lynn was alluding to. Like, this stuff essentially it ruins it. I mean, he said in the last 4 red zone trips, they didn't even get a touchdown. So that's stuff they have to work on. He acknowledges that, but it starts with the quarterback. So at the same time, you can't keep making excuses for Jared Goff. Anthony Lynn said it was on him. He took the blame, obviously, like the man he is. But we have the video right here. We're going to play it for you, so you can check it out for yourself.
Just to piggyback off of that, he's had some issues getting in the end zone over the past couple of weeks in the first half. Has there been any discussion about maybe changing up a few things so he can start out hotter?
Yeah, not turning the ball over. I mean, we can start right there. I mean, we've had 4 turnovers in the last couple of weeks in scoring territory. So, when we improve in that area, and that can start with me, the play selections I call when I get in those areas. But it also starts with our protection and our quarterback decision making. So we can all get better in that area, and we plan on doing that. But having 4 turnovers in the scoring territory, that's been tough, not coming away with points in those situations.
Okay. Guys, I mean, that was pretty obvious what he was talking about. Let's be honest here, all right?
Yeah.
So let's not gloss over it. Let's not make a bigger deal of it, though, than it is. It's just the reality. Goff is making a ton of turnovers. It's hard to win football games when you're giving free possessions to the opposing team. Now, the Lions' problem is not really Jared Goff. It's the O-line. I don't even know how to say your name, but your last name is Ferber. You are either on drugs or Jared Goff pays you to sit in this chat and compliment him. Because last I checked, Jared Goff, on average, has the 4th most time to throw of all the quarterbacks in the NFL when he's in the pocket. He has the time. He, A, doesn't see them, or B, he sees them, but they're not open enough. And what I mean by that is if you actually watch Jared Goff and you break down his film, you know what you'll notice? A small trend is he's not making the throws where the wide receivers are half a yard, maybe even a yard open. No. He's only comfortable making the throws when the wide receivers are 2, 3, 4 yards open. And that is very problematic because, guys, in the NFL, open is not always open. And as a quarterback, your job is to throw your receivers open. So, no, Jared Goff is the problem. His small hands are a problem. Is it fair to evaluate him and criticize him because he plays on one of the worst teams in the NFL? No, I think it's a bit harsh, but that's his reality. He hasn't shown that he's making everybody around him better. He's Mr. Checkdown King.
Yeah.
Mr. Small Hands.
For $30 million.
And Mr. Turnover Prone. I mean, that's what he is. What'd you say? 34 starts? 45, 46
36,
turnovers?
yeah. 36 starts.
36 starts, 45
turnovers.
Guys, that's over a turnover a game. That's like Mark Sanchez level, Joey Harrington level. This is not a game.
Yeah.
This is a total bridge quarterback who can't see open receivers, is afraid to make the throws. Why? Let's be honest, guys. He was treated really bad in his final months in Los Angeles. The eye rolls by Sean McVay on the sideline during the games, the frustration, the throwing the playbook on the floor, getting frustrated, screaming in his ear, giving up on him, giving him the shoulder shrug. I mean, that's mentally exhausting for any player, especially the quarterback. So when you have a head coach that doesn't believe in you, you're traded to one of the worst teams in the NFL. Your employer, or I should say former employer, gave up 2 first-round picks to get rid of you. You're not feeling great about yourself. Now, Jared Goff off the field, stand-up guy. His charitable work, I don't think there's a better person in Detroit right now than Jared Goff. Unbelievable, great human. Parents, stand-up people, raised a great kid. Classy people. But Jared Goff on the field right now lacks confidence, and he's not the Jared Goff we saw his first 3 years in the league. This guy was on the cusp, if not already, an elite quarterback 3 years in.
He's throwing 30 touchdowns his third year. I mean, fourth year. The guy was
unbelievable. Like, he was actually elite. And then I don't recall ever seeing this where a guy came in, was elite, and then his career was hindered or fell off a cliff.
Being with a good coach.
Injuries.
Being with Sean McVay.
Yeah, like, it doesn't... It doesn't add up. Now, is Sean McVay too demanding? I don't know. But you know what? Demanding coaches, in my opinion, are the best kind of coaches.
Yeah.
Because they're demanding you to get even better.
Yep.
So, Jared Goff, I'm not sure what's up with you, buddy. But you got to start taking more chances. And if you throw interceptions, so be it. But you got to stop not making the throws. You got to start trying to make them. You're not going to get a second contract as a starter somewhere else in the league if you're not throwing receivers open. If you're relying solely on these young wide receivers to be open, you're in trouble. And if that's the case, Anthony Lynn, you got to run the ball more. But again, I mean, and what to make of Anthony Lynn's comments is the truth. It's about as truthful as someone can get.
Yeah, and it's not just Anthony Lynn. Dan Campbell had his interview after that, and he said, he's like, listen, Jared Goff, he didn't specifically, label Jared Goff as the problem, but he did say, he's like, it is frustrating when a lot of the decisions of your plays come back to your quarterback. And he said there was the time where Jared Goff fumbled in the red zone against the Minnesota Vikings, and he said the hitch was open. T.J. Hockenson was open. He said just throw the hitch, and there's never a fumble. So sometimes Jared, it goes back to the point. Under pressure, Jared Goff's at his worst because it's almost like he's feeling the pressure before there's even pressure. Like he's not making the easy reads. He's holding on to the football, and he's fumbled 6 times thus far this season.
People point out his interceptions. He only has 3, Adam, through 5 games. Jared Goff is doing just
Fumbles
fine.
are still
Well, you know why he
turnovers.
only has 3? Because he's afraid to throw the football. And look, I knocked Aaron Rodgers for this years and years ago. He would just throw the ball away when he was frustrated with the play, or whatever it may be. He was being dramatic, but under Matt LaFleur, he's been less and less of that. Now he's throwing guys open. He's taking those chances. Of course, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers here, but the point is, as a quarterback, you need to have the confidence in your coaching staff and yourself to go out there and feel comfortable knowing that, hey, I'm going to try to make this throw. And if it's intercepted, so be it. But I'm really trying to get us back into this football game. Jared Goff's not doing that. He only has 3 interceptions. Great. How many fumbles he has? 6, 7?
Yeah, 6.
So double the amount of fumbles that he has interceptions. Why? Because he's keeping the ball for way too long. And when pass protection does eventually break down, he fumbles it because he can't hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to stop making turnovers. You got to run the ball more. Get it out of his hands if you don't want to commit turnovers. Because clearly this is a turnover-prone guy. In 5 games, he's averaging well over 1.6, 1.7 turnovers a game. Keep that in mind.
That's ridiculous.
That's awful. So, Jeff, I mean, your takeaways completely from Anthony Lynn's comments. I mean, was it a shot at him or just kind of the, hard truth?
I think, well, we understand that obviously Jared Goff's not Anthony Lynn's guy. Like, he's just, hey, this is my quarterback, I'm working with him. And I think the frustration's getting there. I mean, we're, 5-6 games in, and he's noticing, okay, game 1, they make a really good rally late in the game. Okay, maybe the offense has got something clicking. They're perfect in the red zone. Second game, they score, 17 at the half? Or no, that was verse. Yeah, they come out, look flat, and they score. And then the next game, they only score 17 against Baltimore, and then they have 17 against the Green Bay Packers. And now, against the Minnesota Vikings, you score 17. So, that stuff, I feel like it's getting Anthony Lynn, definitely. I mean, what happens when we're 10 games in the season and Jared Goff's got 10, 11?
Well, he's coming under heat now, right? And, people are saying, well, the players are open, Goff's not making the throws. I mean, Anthony Lynn now is facing, justified criticism. Hey, the defense that is decimated by injuries is keeping you in these ball games. and your offense is moving the ball but not getting any points. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So now he's being held accountable. So, again.
Like, even against the Bears, like, they just look flat every game. And it's not, I don't think Anthony Lynn, we can question his play calling a little bit.
When
but
you punt more than you score, there's a problem.
Yeah, there is.
So, Joanna, I got to ask you, fair or foul, Anthony Lynn's comments on Jared Goff?
It's fair because he's saying exactly what's happening. I found it a little surprising because most coaches keep it a little bit more to the chest and don't say those things out loud even though they're thinking them.
Yeah.
But it was necessary. He's frustrated, like you said, Jeff. He's 100% frustrated, and it came out because the question was asked. And, something's got to change.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to happen this weekend, but something has to change.
Yeah, Jared Goff, it's hard because you come in, your first year offensive coordinator, and Jared's like losing your games. It's hard to be like rally with him and say, "Let's go, Jared. Let's prepare next week." Like the guy, you haven't cleared 17 points. He's been disappointing for Anthony Lynn. So it is frustration, man. And hopefully Anthony Lynn, I mean, we saw what he did with Justin Herbert. The guy can work with a quarterback. I think Jared Goff's just a little different. I mean, he's a little more, well, obviously turnover prone, but he makes some bonehead decisions sometimes. And I think it gets to any coach. Like if Dan Campbell's getting to Dan Campbell, it's getting to Anthony Lynn. I'm sure it's even getting to Aaron Glenn because he's putting his defense in tough positions. So, listen, like Adam said, it's nothing personal against Jared Goff. I mean, the guy, the charitable work he does is awesome. I mean, you see all the food he's donating, all the clothes and all that stuff, all to the children of Detroit. So it's nothing off the field. It's just strictly on the field. His play for getting paid $30 to $35 million. I mean, that's quarterback money where you should be playing extremely well. I mean, that's top tier quarterback money. I mean, that's Dak Prescott near numbers. So Jared Goff, it is what it is. But
I think Adam hit it on the head when he said he lost his confidence. He doesn't have any confidence. And, you can tell what was it? He's throwing 6 yards. Its average is 6 yards or something like that.
Like 5-6 yards.
For that caliber quarterback, you got to expect more than 6 yards on average. So I think he did lose his confidence, and I think Coach Lynn was just, hey, I'm frustrated. Something's got to change. We can't have these turnovers in scoring position. We can't have 4 turnovers in one game in scoring position.
Mm-hmm.
And he let his feelings know. And so we're going to see what happens this week. It's funny, we were talking about ticket prices for college games, and I'm looking on here, and tickets for Lions Bengals, you can find them for $30. Whereas if you're going to a college game, it's like $130.
You know what? This is ridiculous. But you know what? At the same time, it's funny because before the season, the tickets were like ridiculously expensive.
Right.
Now they're 0-5. You know what I mean? You start going. Not some of you guys can start going to these games like me. So that's great. I'll probably be down there, actually.
I will as well be down there, yes. And so coming up next, we are going to be talking about the preview of the Lions and the Bengals Sunday at Ford Field. We're going to see what we think in regard to who's going to take that game right after the break.